Welcome to Poetry Lockdown, day 97. This week, if you've been tracking the videos, I've been really featuring poets who have actually composed poems in the moment, responding to what's happening in our country and in our world. So, featured some of those poets who've responded to the New York Times, Claudia Rankin, and Jericho Brown. So if you haven't checked those poems out, they're amazing. And like I said, better than hearing me read them, you can actually just go to the New York Times Book Review site and hear the poets read the poems themselves. But all that is to say, it got me thinking about other poets who have done that. And for Barack Obama's inauguration, which I was privileged to actually be living in D.C. and got to attend, Elizabeth Alexander, a terrific African-American poet, composed praise song for the day, again, for that moment. And, a lot of times people say, well, a poem in the moment could really feel like it fits the moment. Does it stand up? I reread that poem a couple of times today and just was struck by, yes, how powerfully it does stand up and indeed speaks to this moment right now. So just a terrific poem by Elizabeth Alexander, which I'm going to read in a second. Before I do, though, I also want to note she has a terrific essay, and I just want to make sure I get the title right. I just read it, called, it's on the New Yorker, The Trayvon Generation. Yeah, if you're a fan of her poetry, or even if you've never heard of her, I would really recommend it. Definitely just a thoughtful, personal essay about her own two sons and just thinking about the Trayvon generation. So I really recommend that essay. But without further ado, let me read her poem, Praise Song for the Day. Praise Song for the Day by Elizabeth Alexander. A poem for Barack Obama's presidential inauguration. Each day, we go about our business, walking past each other, catching each other's eyes or not, about to speak or speaking. All about us is noise. All about us is noise and bramble, thorn and din, each one of our ancestors in our tongues. Someone is stitching up a hem, darning a hole in a uniform, patching a tire, repairing the things in need of repair. Someone is trying to make music somewhere, with a pair of wooden spoons and an oiled drum, with cello, boombox, harmonica, voice. A woman and her son wait for the bus. A farmer considers the changing sky. A teacher says, "Take out your pencils. Begin." We encounter each other in words. Words spiny or smooth, whispered or declaimed. Words to consider, reconsider. We cross dirt roads and highways that mark the will of someone and then others who said, "I need to see what's on the other side. I know there's something better down the road. We need to find a place where we are safe. We walk into that which we cannot see." Say it plain, that many have died for this day. Sing the names of the dead who brought us here, who laid the train tracks, raised the bridges, picked the cotton and the lettuce, built brick by brick the glittering edifices they would then keep clean and work inside of. Praise song for struggle, praise song for the day, praise song for every hand-lettered sign, the figuring it out at kitchen tables. Some live by love thy neighbor as thyself. Others by first do no harm, or take no more than you need. What if the mightiest word is love? Love beyond marital, filial, national. Love that casts a widening pool of light. Love with no need to preempt grievance. In today's sharp sparkle, this winter air, anything can be made, any sentence begun. On the brink, on the brim, on the cusp. Praise song for walking forward in that light. Wow. Elizabeth Alexander, everybody. So there are many things I could say about this poem, but I don't want to bore you with my interpretation, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I've been thinking a lot about love as a response to all that's happening in the world, and I mentioned like a couple of weeks ago that a James Baldwin essay, "The Fire Next Time," and his really proposal that that's really the answer, and love is radical, and it also is specific, right? Just kind of throwing it out like a romantic notion doesn't mean very much. But here we have Alexander saying something similar in a very political moment, right? The inauguration of a new president. And she says, love beyond marital, filial, and national, love that casts a widening pool of light. And I'm struck by how that defining of love then rhymes with or matches with the actions of love that she shows in the poem itself earlier. The teacher saying, take out your pencils, begin. The woman waiting with her son for the bus, right? People making music. These are very concrete, not abstract, but very easy to see and notice forms of love. And I love the simplicity and directness of what she shows us, what love can look like. So I think it's a message that is definitely one that I'm needing and wanting to hear at this moment. So Elizabeth Alexander, thank you for your poem. Thank you all for listening. Hope you have a great day.